Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Outside the Box videocast. Today with us we have Puritan and Lasse as normal, or Hampus and Anders.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're back, finally. We have been offline for like half a year or something.
7 months, I think.
7 months, yeah. This is
that long?
Yeah,
Yeah. I looked at our YouTube channel and saw the last video we uploaded was 7 months ago.
So it's like 8 months ago we recorded the last one.
Yeah, probably.
Today's the 1st of October and we're going straight into winter here in Sweden. And it's, yeah, as you said, the 8th episode. So what we're going to talk about today, Hampus?
First of all, I think we're gonna just talk a little about what we've been doing since the last episode. And then we're gonna talk about tournaments in general. And if we have time, we're gonna maybe discuss. There's a rumor that there's a new edition coming next year, and yeah, just talk about things regarding that, what we liked with the 8th edition, and what we would like to see in the next, maybe.
Mm.
But I can
Sounds
start
nice.
off with for all the viewers who don't know us. This is kind of a restart for us. I'm Hampus Berg. I live in Sweden, in Stockholm, and I've been playing Warhammer for 6 years, and been the captain for the ETC team Sweden for the last 3 years, resigning this year. And
We're all sad about that, but we need some rotation on the people as well.
yeah, of course. And one reason why we've been away for so long is a lot of technical problems. Lasse's computer, my computer, and problem with recording sound. And I mean, in general, life have stepped in. I'm gonna be a father in January, so we're still gonna be recording new episodes. It's gonna be a little bit tougher. That's me.
Yeah.
So, Lage, you?
Yeah, I've been up to new things as well. I got my examination, I did my examination work this spring, and also during the summer. And well, now I'm settling down, being finished, and now I'm looking for work instead. So I've been busy as well. And also, of course, DT sucks up a lot of time, both during the spring and during the summers. Well, we haven't, with all the technical issues we haven't really had the time to do these recordings, sadly enough. For you guys and for us as well, it's really fun doing it. So. What about you, Lasse?
Well, I mean, I guess by now you know a little bit about all of us, so I'm just gonna skip all that and just go straight to what I've been doing. And as you said, like ETC has been taking a lot of time, like all the Warhammer time you have at your disposal has been all about ETC. So, and also like you got so bummed out with the technical difficulties, and we did some episode with a guest, and I can't really remember what happened, but I think like all the data was
all the data was lost.
Yeah. So we were kind of bummed out, but it's great to be back. And I had an episode after the ETC where I was not so into Warhammer. I was just looking for other things to do for a while, just to get my mind off Warhammer after a year of ETC playing. But now I'm starting to ease back into it. It's hard to let go too long.
Yeah. And maybe we should do a small commercial for XSplit. They've upgraded their software, and now it's working perfectly. And I think a lot of problems and issues.
You shouldn't jump to conclusions here before.
No, that's true.
But concluded that. So, but yeah.
But the last version I couldn't even open. It was just lagging all the time.
Yeah, it runs smoothly now at least.
Yeah.
And hopefully it won't crash on us. So.
Yeah.
So what? This weekend we actually played a tournament. We can start off by talking briefly about that, I think.
We entered a tournament in Umeå, the northern part of Sweden. For me, it kind of sucked. I played a really strong army, Empire, under the ETC rules, but they made some changes up in the tournament is called Fantasia Fanatic, and they made some alterations to the ETC restrictions, which for Empire I thought they were pretty good. I think it
Yeah,
was
they got
not.
100 more points, but they needed to choose between what was it? A cannon and a oh,
It was you had
the
to.
altar. Yeah, the altar
Yeah,
was in the pool for cannons and steam tank.
yeah, exactly. But I got a fever on Friday night, and I had a fever on the whole Saturday and Sunday, so I felt like shit. I just wanted to stop playing, but I did fairly well. I think a lot of thanks to the to the build, to the army,
Yeah,
and I ended up in 7th place.
it's just 13 inches from the back and go to
Yeah,
go to
exactly. I mean,
next
and
phase.
I have to say this also. I mean, the matchups. The first game I played against an Empire that was a lot worse than mine, and in the second game I played against Ogre Kingdoms, but they had some scenarios which my army couldn't really. I couldn't really, how do you say, make the objectives or take the objectives. Um, but then the game after that, I played against a Wood Elf with three
3
months,
minutes.
and on Sunday I played against two Warriors of Chaos who had built their army pretty much as elite you could build it. So I mean, it was just okay. I have three laser shots, and I'm just picking away everything from Demon Princess to Chariot. It was ridiculous. So I mean, there's no skill in what I did this weekend, but it was fun. It was 5 nice games.
You threw some Empire at some people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I played High Elves this weekend. On the way up, I think
This is good.
we went up by 2 cars. We were like 8 people or something coming from the south, and the other car was supposed to bring Maya and Hampus' army. So first we sent a message to them asking if they brought Hampus' army, and yeah, they did. Yada yada, talked some other shit, and then just asked about my army. Yeah, you got my arm as well, right? And they were like, no, you were supposed to bring it. What? Yeah, we brought it to you last week. And I was like, yeah, they probably did. Fuck, because I didn't bring it. So, and yeah, we like called tournament. What do you say?
Organizer.
Organizers.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we can maybe find an army for you. And we were like starting fixing the things. And then the other car called like 1/2 hour later. You didn't believe us, right? Because they were just fucking with us and we didn't realize that.
That's mean.
Yeah. But yeah, so I could at least play my high elves at the tournament. And I took like 5th place, I think it was.
Yeah.
Nothing important.
No,
No.
it was below 3. But you had like the car home, we had 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th place. So it was good anyway.
Oh, they had a team tournament. I can show you now because that could be nice to look
Oh,
at. Ooh. So we won some T-shirts like this. This is kind of where to put it there. Most awesome team. That's us.
like
is pretty
BXK, the most awesome team.
Yeah.
But then we have you, Lasse, instead of... or we have Lasse and Christian instead of Håkan and Stefan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't there this weekend.
No, because you were playing LOL and working instead.
Yeah.
But
In
when
Patrol.
we are now when we're discussing tournaments, a lot of things came to my mind when I was going back down to the southern part of Sweden, back to Stockholm, and there's a lot of. I mean, we have maybe 10, 12 tournaments each year in Sweden. We don't have that many tournaments during June, July, and yeah, June, July, and August. I mean, the ETC is in August. So we have like 12 tournaments scattered on the earlier part of the year, and then some in the later part of the year. And all tournaments do things in different ways, and I think we should kind of like discuss that, because for me it's a matter of, I mean, the where they hold the tournament. Some places are really shady. They don't have enough light, or
Yeah.
it could get really hot.
Shady. It
could be-
sounds like
Shit is sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on
And
the
it-
ground.
back-
Yeah,
Backyard in
but I
fact.
mean, it's kind of the same thing.
It's like lay low, lay low.
Yeah.
It's like stick close to the tables, guys.
If a guy comes and his name is Spike, just be quiet and let me do the talking. No, but
It's such a shady tournament.
I have to apologize.
Don't give
for
a
my
bad eye
voice.
to the 40k players around here because they're nuts.
I have
Gives a
to
new meaning to
apologize
shooting phase.
for my voice also, because I'm still sick. I'm gonna talk less, I think. But yeah, I mean, we played at places where you almost couldn't see the table, and the volume in the venue was so loud. You kind of were tired when you just left it in the evening, and you just wanted to go to a hotel room and have a little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, no strength to party.
No. But what you guys think about tournaments in Sweden?
I mean-
Good things, bad things, and things
Yeah.
an organizers should think about?
I mean, there's different parts of the tournament. On one hand, you have all the administration. You have like food and the venue, as you talked about. But there's also the tournaments, and you need proper rules, for example, restrictions, because you can't really play free of Warhammer or like by the rule book, and you don't want to play without scenarios either, maybe. And then there's the painting, and there's the different prices and everything. So it's a lot of things to talk about that we can talk about, and that they need to think about, or we, because we arrange tournaments as well.
Yeah.
And for me, one important thing is the best general prize, or how do you balance between painting and the gaming scores, because the gaming scores is like, that's the, or for me at least, that's the game we compete in, is the game, not the painting. But there's a game, of course you can compete in painting as well. And how do you divide the points between the painting and the best general, and things like that. I think that's an important role, because if you have too many points in painting, for example, if you can get 40 points in painting and you play for 50 points, then there should be best painter and best general, because the best general, or the winner of the tournament, will probably not be the best general, and
No.
being the best general at the tournament should be, I mean, they should know about it at least.
Yeah. It should be an achievement. I mean,
Yeah.
there are two parts of the game, of the hobby, and that's the strategic part, the playing, and then it's the building your figures and painting them. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of tournaments, for me right now, is kind of mixing them together too much.
Yeah.
And that gives, for me, I mean, of course you want to play against armies that are good looking. But I mean, we have tournaments I mean, from the southern part of Sweden to the northern part of Sweden, who don't give that many points for painting. I mean, almost every army gets like 20 in painting. We don't see unpainted armies, or armies painted like a fucking moron. I mean, to be honest, I almost can't remember the last tournament I went to where there were, figures that weren't even painted.
It was like last QFA we had some problems with that. But we had the same restrictions as anywhere else, so it was more bad luck than anything else. But yeah.
I mean, it's the painting should never have an impact on the gaming aspect of the tournament. Is my opinion, at least. It should contribute 0 points to the gaming.
I think you should have different prices. I mean,
yeah, but there should also be like a blanket score. Like if your army is unpainted, you can't score um, in the gaming. I mean, like even if it's a gaming competition, nobody likes to play to, against an unpainted army. So I mean, you should at least have something that impacts the game, because otherwise you would have people like, well, okay, my army is unpainted, so I'm not gonna win the painting competition, but I can still
Oh.
compete in the gaming
Yeah, yeah,
competition.
exactly.
They have to have some impact. But
Yeah, yeah. In Sweden, we have that rule where an unpainted model can be removed from the game
yeah,
if you
exactly. It could be
just.
like a negative impact instead. Like everybody gets the same painting, but if you have unpainted models, you get negative scores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the other side, if we talk about the people who wants, I mean, the score from the painting put together with a score from the tournament. For them, they say that, oh yeah, but everybody can take a miniature and then just paint it red and put some dots on it, and then okay, is it painted? It looks like crap. You don't want to play against that, but then it's kind of like painted. And
Yeah.
I understand it too, but for me, I think it should be like if we say we have 100 points in painting, let's go ridiculous. And I think
Yeah.
it should be fairly easy for armies to achieve like 30 points, maybe. So I mean, if you've painted the models just like a stupid child, uh, then you should get maybe like 30 points. If you have something that is unpainted, you get 0 points. But then from 30 up to 100, it should be fairly easy. Okay, you've painted the parts so that the armor looks like it's the same army. You haven't borrowed any miniatures,
It's
and
coherent.
yeah,
Yeah.
coherent exactly. And so I mean, it should be very easy to maybe go up to 95 points very fast if you just it's a coherent army, it's painted, you have some highlights, you you put on some flock, you fixed with the bases, and then it's
Yeah.
like 95 points. And then maybe okay, you've done some conversions. Yeah, then you get 100 points.
Yeah.
But after that, you could go into like the painting contest, and then it's like okay, some guys have to go walk around and say okay, these 8 armies or how many, uh, these are the ones you could vote for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about painting, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's talk about scenarios, because
Yeah.
scenarios is something that we play with at almost all tournaments, but not the ones using ETC or the
No.
ETC comp, or at least in Sweden we have it like that. At the ETC we don't play with scenarios. I think the 40K side do it, right?
Yeah.
They have scenarios,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, the fancy scenarios in the rulebook are, most of them are not balanced at all, so we use some different variations and they're almost never 100% balanced. And that's kind of sad in my opinion. Because it's really easy to make a scenario that is balanced and works
Yeah.
for all armies.
Except for dwarves.
But it can work for dwarves as well. I mean, you can
Yeah,
play
but
aggressive dwarves, or you don't need to have the scenarios taking points on the table, for example.
Who even gives a shit about dwarves? Really? I mean,
I,
I
to,
mean,
to be
seriously,
honest,
why waste time? It's like if you want to stand in your corner and ruin the day for everyone. Yes, I mean, I'm not even gonna
no,
just do that.
we
You
can't
can
say
just
that. No,
let all the dwarf
don't
players
listen
just
to that
can't they
squared
just put like
squared
all the
shirt fucking idiot.
if you have like 100-man tournament, you can take the 3 dwarf players or 4, and they can just get their own tables, and they can roll for who goes first, and then they can switch, play each other like that. Okay, so you go first. Okay, now I play him. Um,
Okay, enough with this rant from you. I just wanted to say that when I did tournaments, I mean I did like 4 or 5 tournaments in Uppsala before I moved to Stockholm,
Yep.
and in the last 2 tournaments I did it really because I learned that people who come to my tournament, they want scenarios, but they should be like easy and shouldn't make a huge impact on the gaming. So we did like the first game is a pitched, the last game is a pitched, and then we did 3 scenarios, one with spots on the table, or two objectives on the table, who gave away like 150 victory points in turn 6. And one scenario was that you get 100 extra or 200 extra, I don't remember, for the enemy general and 100 extra for the BSP. It was like a assassinate scenario. And then the last scenario was the breakpoint scenario from the rule book, but we did some changes to it, so the game doesn't end when you break your opponent. You just get 300 victory points, and then he still has the chance to break you later in the game to get his 300 victory points.
That reminds me, there's actually a difference in scenarios as well, because sometimes play for BP and sometimes play for VP.
Exactly.
What do you prefer?
I prefer
I
VP.
Yeah, I prefer VP as well,
Yeah.
because then even if you crush your opponent like with 2,400, you can still not get your 20 points from it, because he stood at that point in like 24 or something.
But that depends on how important you want the scenarios to be. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Play for
of
VP,
course.
you can also like smash your opponent and not give a fuck about the scenarios.
Yeah,
But if you
exactly.
play for battle points, you always have to
That's
keep
true.
the scenarios in mind.
Yeah.
The problem for me with I mean this is good that we started to discuss this, because Fantasia Fanatic, they were the first ones who kind of uh, presented the scenarios where in round 4 you could, if you did something like hold an objective, you get 1 battle point of the 20. But the last 2 tournaments I went to was one in Västerås and this in Umeå. They've changed it, so now they gave away battle points at the end of each player's turn 4. And this is something I get so irritated on, because that means that if you roll who goes first, he gets an advantage, but he also gets an advantage on the scenario, because in his turn 4 he has the possibility to just go there with the unit and take 1 battle point, and you can't do nothing about it.
You have to be there before.
Exactly, so you have to be there on turn 3, and I mean the game doesn't work that, not for me, it doesn't work that way. I mean the round 4, 5, 6.
The problem for the player taking a second is that he needs to be there turn 3, but it needs to stay there until turn 4 as well.
Yeah.
Because that's the next time it ticks for him as well.
Exactly.
So he needs to be standing still on one spot for one whole turn, while the one going first can only be there, charge there, anything.
Yeah.
And then it takes the 2 turns, and then it's free to walk again. So
you can say like this: the guy who lost, who goes first, he has to commit first.
yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah. And the thing is that Fnatic in Umeå, in their first scenarios they did like this. They had at the end of turn 4, but this year they mixed it up, and if you ask me, I think they failed. They should go back to the way it were before.
Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to have some like midpoint.
Yeah.
During the game, it's not only in the end of the game that you need to stand somewhere. It's like during it. Yeah, it interacts more. The scenario interacts more with the players.
Exactly.
It's hard to have it in the middle, though. I mean, it's like you don't want to give someone the advantage of going to an objective before the other guy. So it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, then we both move.
We're mixing up the game.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ah, shit.
I mean,
combat.
We're gonna make a scenario where you write down where your units are gonna go on a piece of paper, and then you show each other at the same time. Okay, this is like Robo Rally. This is how I'm gonna go.
Then you have like the dwarf player. He shows his empty paper.
Just this one.
It's like sad face, like
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, and I think if discussing scenarios, I think don't do random things. I did that. I think it was my second year as an organizer for the tournament in Uppsala, and looking back, I just want to shoot myself because it was so stupid. was randomizing a terrain piece, and that terrain piece on the table was worth 300 victory points at the end of the game. And I know, I don't know why I did that. And now
Who wants 300 victory points? You won.
but now I think that remove all random. No, I mean, a lot of tournaments in Sweden do a monster or something that moves randomly, and you can pick it up or something like that, and that's just stupid because it's so much luck, and luck shouldn't be
part of scenarios. No.
no, should not be a part of scenarios.
Yeah,
It's a part
you
of
have
the
enough.
game, of course, but not the scenarios.
Worm is too dependent on luck, as it is,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So
I think that like the random factor in the scenarios, it's I mean we often end up down that road because you want to like change from these same boring objectives in corners and stuff like that. I think that the most important thing for scenarios is to change the way you build your army.
Yeah.
Like that's the main objective of the scenarios. Like
breakpoints, for example.
yeah, like you have to when you do your army list, you have to consider the scenarios. You have to consider the scenarios. You can't be like you, Hampus, who always shows up and like I haven't even read the scenarios, and then you just play anyway because you play like Empire or whatever, who are just immune to different scenarios. It's like, oh no, we have to turtle. Okay, no problem. Oh no, we have to attack. No problem. It's like, but still, you would want a scenario that forces you to read the scenario and build your army according to it. In some way, it doesn't. I mean, it shouldn't be like totally game-changing scenario, but you still want it to be like, you have to think about it.
You want it to be like you reading the scenarios and then breaking the rules for the scenarios
That's
with
exactly how
bringing
it's
Loki
supposed
to the tournament.
Yes, you should always have to bring Loki to the tournament.
It's nice. But another thing, are we finished with the scenarios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually not.
Yeah.
The most important thing with scenarios and people making scenarios, you can do them however you want it, but play test them and check that it actually works as you intended. Because if you play test them, you can almost instantly realize is this good? Is it bad? Can this work in a tournament? Because it's always the same thing. You start to the scenario and then you see this scenario is shit. You can see it almost instantly.
Good point.
And
Yeah.
so just play test them and it should be.
And also,
another thing, let a couple
I-
of people read the scenarios before you post them.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, the most important by far, make them easy to understand.
Yeah.
Because if you have like 100 person tournament, there's definitely gonna be some stupid kids who are just gonna be like, what? Just playing the table upside down or whatever. It's like, didn't it work like this?
Shouldn't we just flip the table?
Yeah, so I mean, they have to be easy, and they shouldn't be random.
No.
And they should have some impact on how you build your army. At least one of the scenarios, perhaps. Like, all of them doesn't have to be like that. It's preferably one, I guess, because if you have 5 different scenarios that empowers different builds, that's not going to do you any good. It's like, okay, so this one is great for magic, and this one is great for shooting, and like, yeah, that's not going to bring you anywhere, because then you might as well just skip it.
And there's also, sorry that we drag on about this, but if you have, for example, points on the table that you should hold, make sure that there are no buildings within those taking range, because that's so fucking overpowered to have buildings on those spots, because they are so easy to hold as well.
And also no mysterious terrain, I would say.
Oh, no mysterious terrain. But that's like
that you should never rip the mysterious pages out of your rulebook.
Yeah.
You never want to use them.
No, don't do that. Just don't
so
play
fun.
with them.
What tournament was that? That was ETC, right? No, where was
it was Gates of Westridge when Christian...
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it was. And he was like, was it really? I can see
Yeah,
this
he had
player.
great guards who stood at.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, but I think it was Gates of Westridge, and I played an opponent and I played him before, and he played high elves, and I was like, I really prefer not to play with mystical terrain, and he was like, oh, but it says in the rule pack that like we should play with mysterious terrain. And I was like, yeah, but still, I mean, it could have an impact on the game, and it just feels so ridiculous, like losing a stupid test in a fungus forest or whatever. It's just so stupid that that should have an impact on the game. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. And I was like, okay, whatever, sure. First thing he does is walk into to a piece of water and loses an entire unit of 15 archers. It's like high elf archers is like, oh, I think we're gonna put them in the water. And it's like boiling flood, off with them. I was like, I told you, man. I told you. It's like, damn shit. Oh, but it was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun for me.
random shit.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, another thing. I mean, the lighting should be good in the venue. Uh, the volume should be kept a little bit low. I mean, you could tell all the players, okay, keep quiet, but it doesn't work that way.
No.
And the ventilation should be really good.
Yeah, the ventilation is really important
Yeah.
because you have like this adrenaline all the time and you
Yeah.
sweat a lot and it stinks for most people. So
Yeah. And then also we've discussed the scenarios and we discussed the painting and points. I mean, we could also say that it's okay if you want a tournament that has like overall points, you could maybe introduce like a quiz or some form of, if you do it like a team. In Sweden we have single tournaments who put in a team tournament in the single tournament. So
Yeah.
you have to kind of like speed paint and do a quiz and yeah, do some other things. But one thing I wanted to say is that some of the best tournaments I've been to in Sweden is the tournaments where you could eat maybe at the same venue where you play
Yeah.
or in the same place or just maybe like 50 meters from there, because it makes all the gaming so much more relaxed. You just, okay, we're finished, let's go and have lunch, and then you just go and eat like in the next room or 50 meters from there.
So awesome. So awesome.
Yeah.
And you
like
save so
Shadow
much time.
Games last year was
Yeah,
I
really
loved
good.
it. Yeah.
Really good.
I think that like in the tournaments, for example in England, I think that's pretty common that they serve food.
But that food that we ate last time we were in England was not nice.
Tasty. I think it was nice. It was just that like that.
That hamburger, man.
No,
That hamburger
the food
like
was so bad you
the most
forgot.
disgusting thing ever
It
made
was
by
England. What did you expect? It was
Lasse, the food was so bad that you forgot where you parked your car.
But that was when we were in Denmark.
Yeah, that was-
I know.
I think
Speaking of which,
to be
we should
fair,
go to Denmark this year as well, Lasse.
we knew exactly where we
I
parked
want
the
to
car.
go
We just
then.
didn't know how to get there. I knew exactly what it looked like where we parked the car.
We just couldn't find the place. No, but so have we covered most things regarding tournaments? Yeah, and another thing is that a lot of organizers are having problems with, okay, you want to do a tournament, you have like 40 spots, and then you say, okay, now you could, what is it called in English? You could
What are you talking about? Say it in Swedish.
anmäla.
Sign up.
Sign up, yeah. Now you can sign up for the tournament, and it's like 95 people want to sign up, and you only have 40 spots. And yeah, okay, this is the 40 guys who's supposed to go to the tournament. And then when it's about time, you have to pay for the tournament, and only 5 people pay.
Yeah.
I think tournaments in Sweden and the rest of the world should do it like they do it up in Umeå.
It's
You have
yeah,
a
it's
spot
really
when you've
smart.
paid.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, we have these many spots, and when you pay, you could sign up.
We have the opposite, or we really get that problem in the
Yeah.
Uppsala tournament, because then we have too few spots and a lot of people signs up,
Yeah.
and then we have a lot of people not coming.
Exactly.
So we'll be having a lot of delays in the end.
But it was
Yeah,
in Denmark, the Giant Fanatic, you had to pay directly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And in England as well, right? There was also
yeah.
some kind of a direct payment thingy.
Yeah. That is correct.
So that's, I mean, that's also a good thing to think about when you're, if you want to organize a tournament. And also, another thing we could discuss is, because I felt that when we played the tournament this weekend now, it became very obvious that they don't have enough terrain or terrain that is good. I mean, in Sweden, we don't have that many tournaments, so you kind of learn what kind of terrain they have, and you kind of choose your army depending on that. Okay,
Yeah.
they don't have that much terrain. Yeah, I want some fucking cannons.
Yeah.
So I think that 4, maybe 5 pieces of terrain should always be on the table. I played 3 games up in Umeå where they had 3 pieces of terrain, and one was a hill, and the hill was in the deployment zone, and one of those games I got it in my deployment zone, and I just shot the hell out of my opponent. It was tragic.
But then you can also, I mean, you can also implement virtual line of sight.
Yeah.
Like
We played virtual line of sight.
We played.
True line of sight sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I agree.
doesn't do anything. I mean,
And I really hope
Yo,
that they
yeah.
remove that.
No, Anders, Lasse, it does a lot.
yeah,
True
that's
line
all
of
it does.
sight.
All it does is a lot. I mean, no, I mean, you see everything everywhere. You can't hide anything. It's like ridiculous. That is so annoying. It's like you find in one of the 100 tables, you find a piece that is like pretty much large enough, but it's only pretty much large enough, so you can see everything behind it. It's like, I'm sorry, I can see that Gnaber behind that castle.
Yeah, and that it also affects up like counts as models,
Yeah.
like big dragons and
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
thingies. You can't play with them because you can see them everywhere, and people play with that rule. And you can shoot below a great eagle, and
Yeah, and I mean, I borrowed Ted's Dark Elves for this last tournament.
For
here.
everybody
It's
who knows Ted.
No,
Now
wait,
you know.
I'm coming. I'm making a point here, and it's got these styrofoam bases, so all the models are like twice as high, and I got fucked in the ass every game by that, and I was like, but you disregard the styrofoam base, right? It's like it's supposed to be this high, but no. It's like, okay, fuck you.
Okay,
True line of sight.
because this is kind of nice. I mean, we covered almost everything regarding a tournament that we want to discuss, and now we're starting to discuss like true line of sight, and then we could just flow into the new edition, because there's a lot of rumors. I don't think there will be a new edition next year,
either
but I also think
Yeah, I
I'm
think
going to
so.
be wrong.
Yes.
Because
Definitely. I mean, the
then
rate
you don't
they,
really think it.
No, because I
No.
really would like to see that, and I mean this is just wishful thinking. I would like to see Bretonia and Wood Elves get a new book.
that is wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But,
That is visual thinking.
Yeah.
but I mean, I think that we should cut GW some slack for once, because I mean, I think we've been like talking some smack about them in some episodes for some reasons. But I mean, I just want to like give it to them what they're doing right now.
Really hard from behind. No.
Releasing army book after army book, and I mean, I actually think they're kind of good books. I mean, like you can play with them.
They are
It's-
improving. Definitely.
Yes, I mean, like they're not getting better gaming wise. Like most of the books, you would rather take the last one. But if you had to decide, like going to a tournament, if you had to decide between a couple of books, you would probably take the old version. But
Yeah.
but still, like they're fairly balanced, and
But to be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying and I agree, but they're still fucking it up. I mean, hopefully there won't be any new demons like the first demons that came. But looking at the
But
Tomb Kings, the Tomb
new-
Kings have been fucked from the previous edition, and now they get a new book, and they're, I mean, they
I don't
never
think.
they never got unfucked.
They were
That
better
depends.
before.
I mean, who, like, I don't think they're that bad.
Okay,
They're not
so
easy. Good.
I mean, to be honest, if you go to a
Don't go
tournament,
down that path, man.
okay, Lasse, if you go to a tournament, and also in one outside the box, you were the one who said,
Yes,
if only one
that's-
skink comes to the other side,
Yes,
it's over
yes,
for the Tomb King.
absolutely. But they're not that bad. I mean, like,
But if you go to a tournament in Sweden, listen to me now. If you go to a tournament in Sweden, and that tournament has, that it's unrestricted.
yeah, sure.
You can play anything. Stop. You can play anything. Which race is the last race you would pick?
Dwarves.
No, but okay, I agree, but not if you're looking at how powerful they are.
No, they're probably like one of the least powerful armies. I mean, and they suck. Yes, they it's a bad army. No, but listen to me. I still think that like the book is okay. You can play with them and you can definitely play them and be like in a situation where you feel like I can win this game.
Yeah,
if only this happens, I can win this game. But
yeah.
but I mean, like I felt like in 6th edition and 7th edition there were some armies that was like you just like ogre kingdoms.
I understand.
Impossible to win.
But I
with.
mean, look, if we skip, for me it's like this. If we skip the Tomb Kings, we have weaker army books and we have better army books. I mean, Vampire Counts is pretty strong, and
Demons.
yeah, demons.
The new Dark Elves seems to be kind of.
They seem to be totally OP. I mean,
Yeah.
what I've
And-
heard sounds crazy.
Yeah, and the demons, and the beastmen feels like a weaker choice. But if I look at that spectrum, I still have one army that is less, and that's Tomb Kings, because it doesn't even get into the spectrum for me as a viable army. But
No.
But
I think
I
the
have-
spectrum has tightened. I think it's
yeah,
getting
that's-
better.
That was my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that they're not as bad as I've experienced other editions.
Oh.
Weaker books.
I agree.
And also, if you play them out of the box, you can do some really powerhouse armies with like their super heroine power scroll, and just shitload of snakes and sphinxes. I guess I'm not sure. I haven't played it, but I mean, I guess they can do something.
You guys who think that there will be a new edition next year, what do you want out from the new edition? Or maybe we could do it like we said before the show. What was good with 8th and what we want them to change.
Yeah, the best thing, in my opinion, in 8th is the step-up rule and the steadfast rule. Those two changes really changed the game. I mean, also the movement and removing this strange way that you took your flee reaction and things like that. But for me, the most important thing was step-up rule and steadfast. Because it really balances out the armies, because it's so much easier for Games Workshop to make the math for how to, put points on them all, like give them a cost.
Yeah.
Because there will be more grinding, it will be less like charging, wipe out the front rank, etc. And I would like to see a change for the magic, because the magic is too overpowered. I think spells, for example, like Dwellers Below, they should remain, but they should make one wound instead of just picking off them all.
Yeah.
Because if you just make that simple change, for example, Dwellers, it still goes through board saves, for example, but you only take one wound,
Yeah.
it would be so much more balanced.
Yeah.
For me, I guess, I know I've several times I've been like, oh, what this fucking rule, like, I hate this rule, I wish it would just die and go away, but off the top of my head, I can't remember all those, so I have to go with the line of sight. I really hope they remove the true line of sight. And I also hope they find like maybe some way of making different types of terrain more suitable. Like I don't know, like you never water is just dead space on the table right now.
Yeah.
It's maybe a bit too scary. I'm not sure. Like different kinds of terrain that you never see, like edges and walls, or I don't know. Just like it feels like we're playing the same terrain every tournament.
Yeah.
And I don't want mysterious terrain. I just want
No.
like to,
And I think you could mix it up very easily also. I mean, just one example. Why don't they have like thick forest and
yeah.
or dense forest and maybe a little more open forest, so that maybe in dense forest you monsters can't walk. For them it's impassable. And maybe you get -2 to shooting when you stand in the dense forest and -1 in another one. And just kind of doing some variations of the terrain.
Maybe even go back to the old forest rules, like they block line of
But
sight.
that was like an impassable that you can flee into, and you can get stuck because you couldn't march and you had half the movement. So
Yeah, but at least it had some impact, like forests
Yeah,
now.
yeah, but Lasse, the problem for me with that type of terrain now, when you can measure everything, is that you don't want a terrain piece where, okay, you see 2 inches into the forest and you're gonna stand. You're gonna get the same kind of stupid discussions. Okay, can I see you now? If you flee into the forest, I want to shoot. Okay, no, it's
Yeah,
not
but
2 inches.
with true line of sight, seriously, what is that compared to true line of sight?
No, I agree with that, but I think that I don't want the old rules back. I just want to do some alterations. I want like ruins that you cannot go in with cavalry, and I want ruins that maybe give you a more cover or not cover. No, it's harder to hit.
Yeah, but if I could say one thing that I would really like is that if they, but it's kind of hard with books that are being released now and that has been recently updated. But it would be really nice if they could find some kind of universal rule for every. I mean, it's so many different names for stuff that do the same thing right now. Like
Yeah.
you have, um, if you look
yeah,
at
just
games
some
like,
standardization about
yes,
Yeah.
like,
more
definitions.
standardization.
And
More
this
standardization.
was things you discussed, Johan, in the car when we went back from
Yeah.
the tournament. That
For example, units,
define what a unit
model.
is. Yeah.
Why? There's no definition of what a model is or what a unit is.
No.
Clearer rules and simpler rules. Like,
Yeah.
I think they should maybe watch games like Magic: The Gathering.
Yeah. Fuck.
What?
Let's say it's gone.
Is Lasse
Did
gone?
I? I'm still here, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
had
it
some
was.
problem. Just yeah.
Okay.
Take that
Just
one more
make it
time.
simpler. Just
Yeah.
make it simpler.
Yeah, I agree.
And another rule that we discussed this weekend was that change on Magic.
Yeah,
And,
this is really good. Take.
I think it was Eric Aronson, another HC player in Sweden, that came up with the first like draft for this change. It's how to use the miscast table, because everyone knows how much it sucks to like use 2 dice on a spell, and then your Vampire Lord is gone because you roll the double sixes and then you rolled below 4 and then you blow him up. So if they change the miscast table so that, or first of all, you change the miscast so you remove the irresistible force, because that's just stupid. To get a spell through when you have the scroll left or when you have twice the many dispel dice as the one casting, it's just stupid. So remove that rule totally. Just have the miscast, and the miscast is still on double sixes. And then you change the miscast that it's affected by how many power assists that you used.
Yeah.
So, like the steam tank almost. If you go for many steam points, you will have a more dangerous table to roll on. So you have like 1d6 plus how many dice you used, for example. And then if you only use 2 dice, you will never be able to blow up yourself, or maybe 3 even. And then also stay with the losing power dices because it's still nice to have the double sixes in the row. But yeah, I think it's really nice to like remove the miscast on 2 dice.
It's actually a great idea, and I wouldn't be surprised if they implement it in the...
Yeah, if they get to know about it, it's
Yeah, but maybe they've thought about it. I mean, there are, as you said, like the Steam Tank table, and I think there are other exceptions as well where like...
But
like
I want to say that the Steam Tank analogy ain't that good because, I mean,
I mean, the Steam Tank can't blow himself up. So,
No.
yeah, but the same mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to also add that one thing I've been thinking about is that if you right now in 8th edition, if you take like 6 dices and roll with your level 2 and you get irresistible force and then you get a cascade, it's the same thing if you do it with a level 4. One thing I was thinking about also is that, okay, you cannot kind of cascade your magician. You take D3 wounds or something like that, because then it's easier for a level 2 or level 1 to die, and it's tougher for a level 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you go like Ogre Kingdoms, they are a little bit more sustainable to miscasts.
Oh, even you could even like remove like half the dice used for the miscast table from your level or something like that. So
yeah, exactly.
So you,
But isn't that promoting level 4s?
yeah, sure.
You don't
It
want
is.
to promote level 4s. You
Why
want to
not?
get rid of them.
Why do you want to get rid of them?
In
well,
this
no,
meta, of
and-
course,
and
this meta,
others.
yeah.
In this game, yeah. But
Yeah.
if you change the spells so they're not as powerful, and you introduce this type of thinking when it comes to miscasts, I think you should promote. I mean, you still want to have your level 1 and 2 because you want your spells on your level 4, and I think maybe you could do something else that makes level 1 and 2 a little bit more interesting as a pick. I felt like I first said no, I don't agree with you, but when I start talking, I felt that yeah, you got a point.
Yeah.
One thing I hope when they make the new rules is that they keep doing good generic magic items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's really important.
with the new books, let's face it, the magic items, I'm not sure who has been making them, but he should probably stop. He should not do the new rulebook rules. Don't you want to pay 65 points to be frenzied against Skaven? Why not? Why wouldn't you want that?
You're always
It's
frenzied.
only
Right?
65 points. You only need a BSB for this. He can't take anything else, but you will be frenzied against Skaven. Unfortunately, they will also be frenzied against you, but they don't pay 65 points for that. It's like, who is this guy? Seriously, who is this guy? Next, please, next. He can go work for some other company. Send him to Privateer Press. Do that. Go away. Go away. It's like, shoo. Shoo. Get him off. Get him out of the room. Shoo. If somebody knows that guy, can they forward this, me saying shoo to him? That would be great. And send me a reply.
You began this show by saying you have to give some cred to Gabe's workshop, and now you just, oh my god.
No, but he isn't representing the company at all because they have made at least one good magic item before, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah, but
I mean,
that's a negative thing for me, is that with the new, I think a lot of people are saying that, oh, it's so bad because there are only like 8 magic items, blah blah. What happened to all the fun magic items? Yeah, all the fun magic items that nobody chose.
Yeah, but it's
weren't
8 magic items. That's no. I don't think anybody has a problem with 8 magic items, but
they have to be viable.
It's 8 magic items and they don't do shit. And it might even be a problem that they do shit. It's like
I have to check, because if you say like orcs and goblins, I mean,
do the lizardman one.
No,
I dare you to find one.
I'm going to start off with orcs and goblins because everybody knows about Lucky Shrunking Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
The
there any
banner.
other?
The banner is used.
Yeah, the banner,
Poison
The,
banner.
the
no,
spirit
yeah.
totem.
Oh, that was Spirit Totem. The one magic resistance
And
negating magic
they have
items.
like a +1 strength, +1 attack sort, don't they? I
But
can
magic
remember seeing
items. Skip the banners. Magic items.
the banners. Well, that's one of the eight.
Yeah.
No, but they have more than shiny stuff. Can you name?
They are the axe as well.
Battle Axe of the Last Vog.
Yeah, and it really sucks right now.
Oh, but you said,
It's-
can you name?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. And it's cheap.
100 points.
Yeah. No, but I
You
mean,
could get 2 frenzied units against Skaven for those points.
so to be really honest, we're talking about the Spider Banner, Mork's War Banner, and Lucky Shrunken Head, and the rest of them
Mork's
almost
Spirit Totem.
nobody.
No, Spirit Totem was the name of it before.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
doesn't exist. So I mean, people
I
are
missed the...
playing three of 8. I mean, the other ones don't take the time naming it and giving it some fluff, and then rule, because nobody's gonna play with them.
No. And that is something they... I mean, and it's too late, I think. The damage has already been done. Several books have items that... I mean, for the listener, it's
I have to check. I bought it.
so bad.
I bought
so
this
bad.
book.
It's,
Oh, here it is. I bought this book like 3 weeks ago or something. I haven't opened it yet. I'm gonna do it now. Da 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 da.
I mean, it's...
But what about the generic? For example, do you want to keep the Chrono Command?
No.
Good question. I would say yes.
Me too. But I think you should make it a talisman as well, instead.
Or an arcane item. No, but then not every character could use it.
For,
But I
for
mean, if you make it a talisman, you will take away the protection of them all carrying it.
Maybe it could be one use only.
Oh, yeah.
we can say it like this: if we're talking about the armor books that exist right now, if I only can change the edition, like it's 9th edition, yeah, I think it should stay because some armies need it.
Yeah. For example, Orc and Goblins will suck with those.
Yeah, but I think it should be in the armor book. I think the Orcs and Goblins should have something that is connected to them. I mean,
You can always comp it.
no, but now we're talking about Games Workshop and how they do the game. I mean, like
Okay,
the
sure.
old Dark Elves, they don't need a Crown of
So in 10 years, when the new Orc and Goblins book comes out, they should have the Crown of Command in it.
Yeah, but that's what I said. If I could remake everything, I would connect those kind of items that is needed to some armies instead.
But I think that what I said about the one use only Chrono Command, you could probably keep a lot of nasty items or make new nasty items
Yeah.
as long as they're one use only. Like, I think that would actually bring a new dimension to the game. A lot of one use only items that you actually have to decide, am I going to pull my ace
Now,
this time, or am I going to hold it? Like shit like that makes the game fun, I think.
yeah.
Like the Dispel Scroll, it's a really viable item. It's only one use only, of course.
Yeah, and
with
people
grace.
throw it away way too soon as
Exactly, and it's like, how many games don't you play that you feel like, okay, I got the scroll, this is, now I'm gonna roll him. Like, this is where I can start taking my points. Items like that, like the Chrono Command, like, okay, I
Yeah.
got the crown, so now it's...
I'm safe. Safe! No, but
Yeah.
I opened the Treasuries of the Old Ones.
Yeah.
And I read the first thing that came up, the Egg of Quango. And for me, it's like they're taking up a third of a page with this
Yeah.
stupid fucking thing. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's like the what is it called in Dark Elves? The dragon egg, yeah.
Black Dragon.
The flame,
Black Dragon egg.
black dragon egg, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2d6 strength 4, is it?
Yeah.
Here they did like this. Okay, we
Income.
don't like persistent magic items. We want to do them more random. So you use the egg, and it's like a flaming, but you randomize. If you roll a 1, they suffer 1d6 strength 3. If you roll a
And-
2 to 3, they suffer a d6 strength 4.
Yeah.
And in 50% of the games, they will suffer 2d6 strength 5. Why don't they just do it 2d6 strength 4?
I think that item shows the devolvation of the magic items so good, because I remember when the book came out and I was looking at some Twitter posts, and I think that I wrote something like, "Oh, that not a single good listen magic item," blah blah blah, and someone was like, "Oh, but like you have the egg. I think the egg is kind of viable, and you have the Stegadon helm. Like, what does it do? Like +1 toughness and 1 better armor save or whatever."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so you have these items and stuff like that. And then you realize, like, how low are we going here? I mean, how far has it gone when you're like, but I think this 4+ strength, D6 strength 5 item, that's pretty viable at least. And you're like, seriously, like, what? Where is my Banner of the World Dragon? Where's my Sacrificial Dagger? I got this fucking egg that on 4+, on 4+, it's gonna do 100th of the impact that a Sacrificial Dagger or the Banner of the World Dragon does. And like the Power Scroll or whatever. Who is this guy?
Can't you
who's not playing the same game
Lasse,
as the
I
rest
think
of
you
us?
should. I think you should mail this guy and just write, "Where is my Banner of the World Dragon?"
But I mean, I remember when you were like, I'm gonna take this hero with this badass magic item and I'm just gonna, like, this is gonna be really fun. Now it's like, every third Tuesday, if it rains and it's really dark outside and I'm wearing a red shirt, this item is going to have impact on your army. And you're like, nice, well done, well done. Impact is where it's at. I want to see my items do stuff with the opponent.
But that's a big problem for people building lists, actually, because they take shit items and they don't do anything. I mean, our ETC lists, they are so strips on everything. We only use items that really do an impact on the game.
Yeah.
And for new players, remove all your medic items. Just bring the big items like Doom Rocket, like Pendant, Dragon Helm. I mean, don't just mash up on every item that you can find, because they don't do their points. Compare it to cannons. Always compare medic item to a cannon, and point by point you should do more. Otherwise they're not worth taking.
Then you have the +1 toughness armor. And you're like, yeah, toughness 6 Scarvets, that's pretty tough. And it is. It's pretty tough. But you either kill a Scar Veteran or you don't. And +1 toughness is not going to change any of that. Because you either shoot him with a cannon in the head and he dies.
Yeah, or you don't kill him.
Or you don't kill him. That's the way it works. +1 toughness and +1 save. I mean, nice. Wow. Cool.
Compare it to the Dawnstone 1+ save instead. I mean,
And like,
the Dawnstone version is so much better.
Yeah, and the +1 items for toughness and woods, they have existed, like, as far as I can remember, and I have never seen them. For example, like the +1 wound items. Who uses them?
They are too expensive.
Nobody uses them. And like +1 toughness, you don't see that either.
I mean, if there was talisman for +1 wound, 20 points, that would be used, but not when it's 50 or 55 or.
Yeah, and still,
No,
if it costs 20 points, you would still think about it, because right now a lot of characters that I want the extra wound for, I don't really have 20 points to work with. Maybe if it's a level 4 who only has a Dispel Scroll or something, but I agree.
Yeah,
I totally
or
agree
even
with you guys.
Or even a Scar Veteran or an Old Blood or something.
But I think that they don't even have to put in items that are good. They I mean, like, really good. They don't have to put those items in. But why do they put items in the book that are so useless? I mean, can't they see that? Can't they see that I don't want to pay like 65 points for Frenzy against Skaven? That's, I mean...
It's always Frenzy, right?
What? No, is it...
Frenzy hatred, and Skaven gets hatred against...
okay, so that... Okay, but still, it's a crap item. It's like the Serpent Staff. The old Serpent Staff.
Yeah, we can rant about all the items that's bad in the game. There are too many.
Well, yeah, but why are they there? why are they there? I mean,
Because players that don't know the game write the rules.
I'm not even sure they
Yeah.
use them. I mean, it's like, nah, it's provoking. It's actually provoking. When I read them, I feel like I'm gonna get back at you for this. Why did you punch me first? The first punch has the stone has been cast. The gloves are off. I mean,
Oh, but I think we could rant about the new edition a lot, and I think we will do that when the new edition comes. We discussed this and said that okay, we're gonna like do uh, maybe 1-2 longer shows where
Yeah.
when the new edition comes, where we discuss the old edition, the new edition, and what the fuck happened.
Yep. That'd be
And
nice episodes.
but I think
yeah,
maybe we've been ranting about a lot of things for almost an hour now. I
Yep.
think this could be a good place to stop and
Yep.
review our technical problems and see if this setup works. And I also, without your consensus, uh, would like to say that in the next show we're going to discuss the new Lizardmen. We haven't had the time to playtest them and look through the book yet. I think we will do that till the next episode. And yeah, we will discuss something else on the next episode as well, but we will see. Anything you want to add or shout out?
Nope.
it's good to be back. Good to be back, and I'm also
Definitely.
glad that no computer has crashed yet. So feels good so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
See
And
you.
I was a small shout out to Speltid who sponsored our t-shirts down at the ETC.
Yeah.
And
Kick up.
also I would like to thank all the countries who came to the ETC this year. And I'm not going to be a part of the team next year, but I'm going to go down and have a look. So I'll see everybody down there.
So see you next time.
Yeah, take care.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Hasta la vista.